It's 5:30. We do have a quorum. So the first item on our agenda is an inclusive playground presentation.
Commissioners, I'd like to start off by saying this is the group from the Challenge Athletes Association. They're going to give a brief history of their group. I'm sure that most of y'all are aware of what they've done at our facilities with the multi-use facility that they put in, which is a very nice facility. It accommodates soccer, volleyball, softball, and you name it. They're able to play on that court. And so, last meeting I came to the commission and talked about that they were wanting to build a playground. They came to me about a year ago and asked would I be interested in putting in that facility. I knew that I'd wanted to see a signature playground in the park. So I was able to get a very preliminary design put together by a playground group that was an inclusive playground. I think that from my, I don't want to speak for them, but I think the way that design came out, it was very well received, that it was a playground that you would never notice that it was inclusive, and that's what they were really after. And so without further ado, I'll go ahead and let y'all.
Okay. Sure. Hi, good evening. I'm Sheila Arnold. I'm kind of one of the co-founders of the Challenge Athletes Dream Complex. We have a board of 13 active community members, some of us with Challenge Athletes ourselves. I have two. I apologize, I'm a little nervous because I was thought I was here for support, not giving a presentation, so please excuse me. I can come back and do a better job if we need to. But
you're fine.
Just a little history. We started the organization in 2008, and we became a 501c3 in 2009. Since then, we incorporated with the City of Victoria to gain the property that is on the corner of Vine and McCrite. At that time, that was the old girls softball fields, and we were utilizing them for the Challenger League baseball. There's two fields on that location. The one on the north side that fronts Vine and McCrite has since been renovated. We put 40,000 square feet of sport court material. It has a concrete base with the rubberized surface. The reason that we pushed so hard for that was the fields were not usable in the past when it was due to inclement weather. We have children in wheelchairs and walkers with prosthetics, some that are not very good in their gait, so any mud or potholes, if you will, makes those fields very challenging for them already. So we funded that project free and clear. It has a 10-foot fence around it so that we can prevent vandalism on the property. We've also built a new restroom concession stand facility with ADA restrooms, equipment rooms, a first aid center, a concession area to still give our kids the feel of having games with the same. Our goal was to give them the same feel as if they were on your project on Ben Jordan. And we were left out of that project, unfortunately, so it gave us the drive to create our own space. What we're looking at doing, since that total improvements, I guess, total around $750,000 that we've put so far into that project. We've completely funded that on our own through grant writing, in-kind donations. We've gotten wonderful support through the community with giving. For instance, Kruger Construction really manned both of those renovations. They were done individually at separate times. But that part is all completely done. So I hope that you'll see that we're very serious and we want something for our kids in the community. We thought that this would be a good fit. As I mentioned, I have two children with special needs. I have a son that's 20 and he has Down syndrome, and I have an autistic son that's 17. I've been very fortunate. My kids are on the low spectrum as far as their disabilities. My 20-year-old is now in college, and my autistic son is a junior at West High School and completely mainstream. So I'm very proud of them, but it's not because I didn't push them that they didn't become the citizens they are today. I want to make available the same opportunities that you and I would have in the community. A lot of times I'd go visit schools and I would see these children sitting on the sideline while their other kids played on playground equipment and whatnot. It's very disheartening for me as a parent because the whole idea is to create awareness and acceptance and what have you. So when we decided as a board that we wanted to create some area where, quote, normal kids and our kids could intermingle, there wouldn't be any, it's not a handicap playground per se. What our goal is to create a place that's equal for everyone to play. It would be the first in the area that I'm aware of. I don't know why PTO organizations or the City of Victoria, when they're putting in new playgrounds, why they don't consider this an option, other than the added expense of the particular playground equipment, what have you. Mr. Van Gundy came to us, presented what we would call a dream park playground. It includes specific equipment where wheelchair people can get on the equipment and feel like they're interacting. It includes a sensory tunnel for those that have sensory issues and need a little bit more help with that. But it's all inclusive in a means to where it's not one area for special need kids and one area for regular kids. It's all created, intermingled throughout the park. There would be sidewalks that would help access the different areas and create easy maneuverability around the park. I don't know if I'm going overboard, but we anticipate this project to be in the ballpark of about $300,000. Which I know is a pretty big chunk of change. But our organization is willing to partner with the city, as we have done on the piece of property that we've already been given, and help this come to fruition. I think it would be a great piece to our city. It would help improve the existing park that's already there, and maybe a little shambled and getting a little deteriorated. It'd be something that would be bright and colorful and welcoming to all families in the community. Any questions?
Thank you. That was an excellent presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Refresh my memory. We're in proximity to the two fields. Is this going to be at the children's area?
The location hasn't been determined yet. I would assume that it would be, to the north of the Rose Garden somewhere, but the exact location of that is not, yet. We want to make sure that it's accessible from the current facility that they have, but we also want to make sure that we include the parking, and so we haven't just exactly nailed that down. That would be, one of the next steps that we would go through, start working, the Challenge Athletes group start working through some grants and determine what type of funding that we can receive. Of course, it would have to go through City Council as far as the budgeting process on my end. But just wanted to give the Commission a chance to hear this group. I know that I've briefed you about it before, but just kind of this is what we'll be working on, and I will keep you updated as progress goes if we hit some benchmarks to keep the Commission updated on our progress on that.
Well, it sounds like y'all have got a very good track record in
Thank you.
Finding money and
we've already
getting
started writing grants for this particular purpose and hopes that you will see our point of view and come on board. We have a fundraiser started already for the first for January. New Year's Eve. I'm sorry. And
close enough.
we have a community leader that's willing. She's actually taken us in her wing to do this fundraiser for us. As I mentioned, we put a lot of hard work. I put a lot of extra time into this place, and it's very dear to my heart.
I can see that. Thank you so much. Do y'all have any questions?
Have you seen the existing area that we've done?
Yeah.
Y'all done a
Yeah.
great job.
You
That's
really
good.
have. You really
Thank you.
have.
Yeah.
What we would really like to see is that it would be placed somewhere in Elder Field area, kind of, that way we can extend our existing sidewalks, which we have sidewalks that go into the dugout areas of the property, and we can run a sidewalk from that sidewalk to that back area. That gives us to park in our area or the side parking that's already there and established for the park, so.
All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you for
Anything else?
listening.
All right. Next, we have on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the October 20th meeting. Does anybody have any corrections or additions, deletions?
I move they be approved as presented in the packet.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Citizen communication, I think we have none. All right, items from the commissioners, including parks assignments. Let me just say, in the executive meeting, we sort of discussed whether we were going to do like we had in the past of different commissioners adopting the certain parks, or just making everybody in charge of every park sort of thing, or responsible for every park sort of thing. With so few here, I think we need to set this aside for the next meeting. What do you
We can
think?
bring it back on the January meeting, that's no problem.
I think we should. All right. Do we need a motion to move it to January, to table it? Okay. All right. Are there any other items from commissioners? I have to say that after I was down in the park at the office the other day for the meeting, I made a point to drive the entire park, which I don't do very, very often. It's looking really good. It's really, can see a lot more than you used to could, with all the kind of the brushy stuff sort of gone. It is, it's looking very nice, looking
Thank you.
very nice. Anyone else? All right. Departmental reports.
This may be a record for our meeting getting done, but I wanted to give you just an update of what we've got going on. We've started hosting in the last month and a half. We started hosting some tournaments. We've held in late October. We held or mid-October, excuse me, a USSSA boys baseball tournament. We had 25 teams at that, which is a start. It's not the best numbers we'd like to see. You know, we passed out cards that were general informational cards, and if they turn those cards back in, they got a dozen baseballs. And so at that, we were asking, how many nights at hotels did you stay at? How many fans came and that. So that first one, we had 101 rooms sold that night. Now in the 1st of November, we held the VTD IFA. It's just their numbers, International Fast Pitch Association. We held the state tournament for Texas. We had 35 teams at that, and we had 397 rooms sold that night, that weekend. And so it was a very good success. That is going to become, we talked to their one of their state commissioners, and that's going to become the fall state is going to be continued to be at Victoria for years to come. So we're very excited about that part of it. We do have a tournament coming up this weekend, another boys baseball tournament. We could be anywhere from 25 to 40 teams. We'll know those more numbers probably Wednesday morning, but we're starting to get that ball rolling. Really wasn't looking at starting that until spring, but we wanted to kind of get the complex out there, get any kinks that we may have together, and so we're really looking forward to spring coming forward. Our construction on the ball fields, changing those over into a grass infield with movable base paths as far as the base distances is complete. It was completed last week. The grass is laid and looking very good, and so that process will be ready for spring as well. So we're really excited about that. Danielle has some information on the Christmas parade and Christmas in the park.
I just wanted to remind you all again that the Christmas on the Square will happen December 6th, 5th, sorry. First, it's always the first Friday of December. It'll start at 6 p.m. at De Leon Plaza. It's free and open to the public. We'll have cookies and hot chocolate, and we'll also have at the end a short film movie of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. So it should be a lot of fun. And then the next evening, on the 6th of December, we'll have the Lighted Christmas Parade. Same location, De Leon Plaza. It will also start at 6 p.m. And we are still accepting parade entries. And the deadline for the parade entry is November 21st.
And on the Christmas parade, we normally have the commissioners able to come up on the stage, and we will send you out those RSVPs shortly, just to get if you're going to be able to be there or not.
Okay.
Is that bring chairs, or what's the thought on that?
Yes, you can
For the
bring
pub-
chairs, lawn chairs, or blankets to sit and watch the movie.
What's going to be showing?
The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where will the screen be?
We'll actually put the screen in the same location as we usually put the stage for the street dance, and then it will shine back towards the gazebo.
So like on Forest Street there?
Yes, ma'am,
Yeah.
on Forest Street.
All right, sounds
So
good.
Colby, are the fields are ready then for usage, or they'll be ready in the spring?
The grass is laid. You have to have about a 6 to 8 week time period that you don't get on them, that you're just watering them in, and so they're ready. Now that grass will go dormant here just as soon as we get this cold weather coming in, and so we're not putting anybody on them yet until the springtime comes when that grass starts to come back up a bit. But I went out there today to check it, and the root system has taken, so they're ready to go. We've got a few little minor cleanups and stuff to that nature, but 99.9% of it's done. It's just a matter of little cleanup and touch-ups here and there, but they're ready to go.
So, Colby, concerning these tournaments you were just telling us about, that sounds like a pretty good thing coming together. The softball tournament, you said we were able to count for roughly 300 rooms?
397 is what was turned into us.
Okay, so I take it that they are, with all the new hotels that have come in, our availability has swung the other direction as far as hotels were, because I know at one time it was very difficult to get tournaments due to lack of.
I wasn't here during that time period. I'm not sure. What I'm hearing now from the hoteliers and the CBV is the hotels are being booked. Sunday through Thursday. It's Friday and Saturday that they're not getting as many bookings, and so that's where we're able to provide that. And so it should continue to grow. We had great comments about the way the fields looked, about how the hospitality of staff. The VTD director sent Charmel a nice email about how the facility looked, how good the staff was, and how they were looking forward to a good partnership. So we were excited to hear that. We've got some other
Great.
large tournaments that we feel are coming up. I just haven't got the signatures on everything to be able to express that right now.
For these tournaments, do you set up block deals at hotels for the attendees, or are they on their own to book their own place?
Yes, we do. We can't from our end of it, as far as say this is our host hotel or this is the hotel, but the people that we go through, either USSSA or the BTD director, they will contact the hotels, and some of them will give them comp rooms or discounted rates to that nature. If we list out that we're having a tournament, we have to list out all the hotels, and so that's where some of that is done on their end. But they have contacted, I know before LaRue left, she contacted every hotel and gave them all the dates that we were going to be at, and those hotels submitted back what their rates would be for that time period. Now, that wasn't a block, but it did give a discounted rate for coming in for this tournament.
That's good, yeah. Anything else for us?
That's all I've
from-
got, unless you have questions for me.
I don't.
I appreciate the little orientation lunch last Friday. I thought that was very helpful, and it was good lunch.
Yeah.
But it was a good introduction to
Thank you.
for me as a new commissioner anyway.
Yes.
All right, I don't believe we have any committee reports this evening and nothing on our work session. So, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Commission, we will not have a December meeting. We'll go to January. Okay.
We have a parade instead.